Hello there, welcome to the You Can Do It Too channel. And today I'm going to share 5 things you need to be doing with the money you have earned. The very first thing you need to do with the money you have earned is to protect it. You don't want that money to come in the front door and leave the back door without you noticing it. So the very first thing you need to do is to protect it by buying life insurance, health insurance, and putting that money into accounts that are going to give you back the most interest possible. The most you're going to be earning as much interest as possible. Why do I suggest life insurance? The first thing you need to know is if you are married and your spouse dies, God forbid something like that happens, the question that I ask you is, are you able to pay your mortgage, your cars, your kids' education by yourself? For the majority of the working class in America, that is not the case. So that's why it is important to have life insurance that will pay that mortgage, that will pay off the car, that will leave you in a better situation and not on the streets with your family on the streets. So many times these policies they start as low as $15, $20 a month for a term policy. Now, as far as a health insurance, it is extremely important to have health insurance. Why? Because if you have put some money aside and you get sick, you get into an accident, you end up in the hospital, that insurance is going to pay for the majority, if not all, your stay in the hospital. It's going to pay for that bill. If you don't have insurance, guess what? You're going to have to pull from your emergency fund. You're going to have to pull from your savings account, and then you may end up in negative. You're going to end up in red. And we don't want any of that. Now, the next thing you need to do, number 2, is to make sure that you manage your debts correctly. You need to have a plan in place. And the majority of people, they fail to plan, and by doing that, they're planning to fail. So as far as not having a plan to manage their debt, they get in trouble. And let me tell you, credit cards, that's what we call super bad debt. You could use credit cards, but make sure you pay it off as quick as possible. There's strategies that you could use that I could share with you as far as what to do to lower those payments. If you're making the minimum, is almost in all cases impossible to pay that off. So what you want to do is have a plan in place, but also know that I'm gonna go like this, good debt. Your mortgage is debt that we could consider good. You want to pay it off as quick as possible too, but you're able to take advantage of having a mortgage. For example, at the end of the year, you are able to claim those the interest that you made or you paid, I should say, in your income tax when you file taxes. You also consider your children education good debt. There's advantage to doing so. Plus, you are doing it to make your family better, put them in a better situation. So as far as that goes, knowing and how to manage debt is extremely important. The third thing I'd like to talk to you about is having an emergency fund. A few days ago, I talked to you about the 10-20 rule. And the 10-20 rule states that you need to have at least 10 months. And I say at least. If you want to have 12, even better. Even 15 months of expenses put aside for an emergency. So let's say that your monthly expenses are $1,000. You need to have at least $10,000, and again I repeat, at least $10,000 put in an account in case of emergency that you're able to access right away. That you're not going to have problems accessing that money or getting to it, so you can use it right away. In case of emergency, you need to have at least 10 months of expenses, 10 months of the amount of money that you use on your regular basis, on your daily life, your bills, your what you use for food. You need to have that aside in an account that you won't touch unless there's an emergency. The second part, the 20, states that if you are getting closer to retirement, you need to have at least 20 years of income put aside in an account, so you're able to retire and live the same way you lived when you were in the workforce, when you were working. So when you go into retirement, the majority of the people their income is about 60% less. So you end up with 40% of the amount of money you used to make. And then that creates a lot of problems for people that are just retired. So in order to retire comfortably, be sure to have at least 20 years of your annual income put aside in an account, in a retirement account, and that you are able to start to withdraw money from it so you can live the same way you lived. Now, we talked about this individually in a separate video that you could always go back to and listen to. But if you need more information as far as what we have talked about, you could always contact me. The next thing that I'd like to talk to you about is investment. I know that this is an excitement topic, and many people are getting into this particular step because they like to invest. They invest in stocks, mutual funds. They invest in real estate. You all know that I'm very passionate about investing in this particular areas. Nonetheless, I have to emphasize that I would not recommend to start investing if you don't have, if you're not protecting your money, the money you have already earned, your assets. If they're not protected by insurance, whether it's life insurance, an IUL, by health insurance, you should not be investing yet. If you're not managing your debt, if you have a lot of debt, you should not be investing. You need to make sure that those first steps are taken care of. If you don't have an emergency fund, I still don't recommend it. You need to have that in case of emergency. And when you're ready for investments, then you move forward. And I can sit down with you and share my experiences and other people's experiences who are very successful in the investment area. As far as that goes, the very last step, the fifth item in this particular list is charity. You have to give back. The joy that you are going to get from giving back, the money you have earned is something that none of the other items that I talked about will give you. Yes, you will have peace of mind when you have protected your money. You will have great enjoyment when you are out of debt and you have learned how to manage your debt. You will have peace of mind again when you have an emergency fund in case something happens. And when you are investing, sometimes you don't have peace of mind because there are some investments that could give you some concern, especially if you're in stocks and you've noticed that the trend in Wall Street is down. But nonetheless, charity, giving back to church, to the community, giving back to people in need, whatever project you get involved with, it gives so much joy to the heart. So those are 5 things that you are able to do with the money you have earned that I recommend. Again, some of these products, as an insurance agent, I'm able to give you advice because I am a licensed insurance broker. So if you want to get more information as far as life insurance, health insurance, or IULs for that matter, which is a type of also life insurance. If you want to get more information with regards to any of the topics that we have talked about, be sure to contact me because you can do it too. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.